Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AM Impact on Your Health. AM Impact on Your Health, where every day our goal is to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. AM Impact on Your Health is heard each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AM Impact on Your Health, where each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, fascinating health topics, and of course where we do encourage you to call in to join in. Today, first week means special events around here. We were with Susie Weiss on Monday. Of course, she'll be in the office this morning for that free seminar. Still time to get here if you want to make it. Today, first Wednesday, well, you all know what that means. Our good friend Dr. Susan Smith-Jones will be our guest today, talking about Detox and Rejuvenate. Probably things learned from by her grandmother to her over the course of many, many years. Anyway, we got an interesting show lined up for you. In only a way that Susan Smith-Jones can do it, she'll take over the microphone the moment I toss it to her, and I don't know if she takes one breath between now and the end of the show. You'll enjoy her today. If you want to call up, ask a question, or to make a comment, the number, of course, is 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. Detox and Rejuvenate today. It's in the spirit of spring cleaning, if you know what I mean. And Susan Smith-Jones will be guiding us through the activities. Now, it is my annual mission. Somebody's got to do it. We head down to Cancun here in the coming week, and we'll not be doing any live shows. So for those of you who would like to keep track, maybe some shows, some older shows that you'd like to hear, I've selected a few, unless I hear otherwise on Friday. We're going to repeat a Ty Vincent show. You've been hearing an awful lot about part 3 from Ty, which was the one he did live, but I haven't ever replayed the Ty Vincent part 2. So that's going to be on Friday. If you're interested in LDA/LDI, you have an autoimmune disease, you'll want to listen to Ty. He makes some great sense, and he has brought some unbelievable potential to our office because of his work. The next week, it's only in keeping that we return back in time to the Frank Schallenberger shows. Frank really set the pace 1 year ago. It was in January of 2014 that he first came on our airways. He was here in January, February, and April, and I've never played the shows back to back. Well, quite honestly, I never had a series of 3 where I could do it. So to take you down memory lane with Frank, why don't you tune in next week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We'll be playing those shows in order, part 1, part 2, and part 3. Frank Schallenberger and the entire ozone story in only the way that Frank can tell it. Now, when I return on the 16th, we'll have Shannon Gosen here. Of course, we're in preparation for some pretty large festivities coming up in the month of April. We have created a fervor over the use of frequency-specific microcurrent. We call that FSM for short. And our expert, our go-to person, and the person who really understands how best to teach this to you is Shannon Gosen herself. She has put together a seminar, a training seminar for those of you out there that think they'd like to take that to the next step. If you're a layperson and you'd like to be trained, we've got a special day set aside for you on April 10th, all day at the Crown Plaza Hotel out here in the South Hills, where Shannon will train you to a level you never thought possible. I think her claim to fame is she said that she had to take this first course 5 times because she didn't understand it. Now she says, I don't know whether she's audio or visual. One of the ever ways that she learns, it wasn't happening for her. But in the process, she says she's discovered a way to get that message out on the first go around. So really, she's a one of a kind person being able to accomplish a one of a time goal. Teach you everything you need to know about FSM as a layperson who's someone who struggled with it herself and can clear it up for you in a hurry. So that's the April 10th for the laypersons. Now, on the 11th and 12th, which is a Saturday-Sunday combination, if you are a practitioner, you'd like to be treating patients with this, you have to have another level of sophistication above and beyond what the lay people need. And so our training for them will be on those 2 days. Same venue. It'll be at the Crown Plaza Hotel right across the street on Fort Couch Road from South Hills Village. All day Saturday, half day Sunday. And it'll be more than likely part one. I can see a series of these coming up as you get better and better and better with frequency-specific microcurrent. Of course, you know we are the Lyme disease treatment headquarters here. We've teamed up 3 therapies. You can't find them anywhere. Ozone is number 1. Number 2, ultraviolet blood irradiation. And number 3, the crowning jewel that really allows us to accomplish the ability to fix. And I'm going to underline the word fix. Lyme's disease, once and for all, is the LDI component, the low-dose immunotherapy component. Because after all, this may have started as a microbial infection, but somewhere in the process, it has also become an autoimmune disease, and we just, in conventional medicine, have nothing for autoimmune. But in the alternative realm, with the work of Dr. William Butch Schrader, now picked up, the gauntlet has been picked up by Ty Vincent himself to put this together. We believe we've conquered this and have very high success rates with Lyme's disease. So if you're Lyme's disease afflicted, how about this? If you just felt lousy and you don't even know if you have Lyme's, the same treatment approach should probably be put in play for you. And more than likely, you may have a Lyme's component. And if not, we'll find the right component and we'll be able to treat that one too. Give us a call here at 724-942-3002. By the way, same phone number. If you're interested in getting trained with frequency-specific microcurrent, in the case of the FSM, you want to talk to Sister Sarah. She'll get you sort of dovetailed into the group. And if you're interested in scheduling an appointment to talk about your chronic disease of long-standing nature that you can't get anything done for to help you, then you want to talk to Kim to get an appointment with me. Of course, we brought frequency-specific microcurrent into a new realm here in the office. Richard Finn is here each and every week. He's here today on Mondays and Wednesdays are Richard's days, and it's a great playoff of a double whammy combination of meeting with me. If you've never met with me, you'll need to meet with me first. It's imperative that I come up with the diagnoses that Richard can then take and program the devices for. So if you already are a patient of mine, you can probably avoid the need to see me. I already know you very well. But if I haven't met you yet, appointment with me, appointment with Richard, and then you're off to the races to get that thing turned around in a way that you can take the device home. You can purchase these devices. You can have them at home. You can be treating yourself at home. There's no other therapy that I know of that allows you to do that with such high specificity than FSM. Now, too, I want to mention, because the clock is moving along pretty good, programs, we have one a month. And the one we're getting ready for now is the program we're going to hold on the 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th here in the office. The 3-day eye treatment program, of course, is the vision of and reality created by Dr. Edward Conrad, a board-certified ophthalmologist who chucked it all in 14 years ago, got disgusted with the conventional model, developed his own model, and has been in the limelight ever since. He literally can reverse in 3 days just about any retinal disease you can throw at him and do it with high specificity and have substantial improvement in 3 days. If you're interested in learning more about the 3-day treatment programs that we offer here, which Dr. Conrad is involved with every single case, we're just the representatives that apply the rest of the treatments, but he is involved as an ophthalmologist with your case. give us a call here at 724-942-3002. Once again, you want to talk to Sister Sarah, and we'll let it go at that. Okay, the crescendo moment has arrived. Folks, I believe she's in the wings. We're always anxious to get to our good friend today, Susan Smith-Jones, Dr. Susan Smith-Jones, that is, will be with us talking about detoxification and rejuvenation in only the way that she can, with the expertise passed on to her from her grandmother. Be right back in a moment with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AIM Impact on Your Health. Heard here on KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you today, and a Wednesday, well, better said, first Wednesday morning version of the show, and first Wednesdays of a month are very special around here. For a long time now, we get a chance to talk to our good friend, Dr. Susan Smith-Jones. 35 years in the industry teaching people how to rely on herbs, spices, foods, and a variety of other natural remedies to detoxify, cleanse, and rejuvenate. So today she's going to be showing you how exactly to fully detoxify and rejuvenate your body. She's certainly done well enough for her own, but you can look to feel your best no matter your age. Also talking about her free books, the newsletter. We have a lot of festivities to bring to you. Let's bring her aboard and say good morning and welcome back, Dr. Jones.
Good morning. It's wonderful to be with you. You know, I like doing this right at the beginning when it's close to the first. Next month it will be April Fool's Day. I'll be with you.
Oh, I didn't realize. All right.
1st of April. I've got to have a funny topic that day, don't I?
I'm sure that you will jazz it up in only the way you can.
Yeah.
No, we always have to ask you about your newsletter because either it's just out or it was out last month. Where were we staying with newsletters and what's in them?
This is new. This is one of my most favorite because you've got lots of unique things. There's something funny. You've got to look at this. A unique way to never get the flu, and it has something to do with the organ. Now, that's all I'm going to say.
Oh.
And I have lots of information on looking younger. I have a 14-day detox, cleansing, rejuvenation program. I have a 7-day one. I even have my favorite sayings by Phyllis Diller. For those that like poetry, I have one of my favorite poems called Daffodils by William. It's a British poet, William Wordsworth. And I've got 5 or 6 recipes to make delicious foods. And if you want to look younger, lose weight, detoxify your body, sleep like a baby, go to my homepage, SusanSmithJones.com, and then click right there on the March-April newsletter, and you'll get all of this info. And you only get my monthly motivational letters if you're signed up in the sidebar of my website. I know you are.
I am.
This one the theme was, have you ever been dog tired? And all of the 16 photos in my upbeat motivational letter, and it's not just photos, obviously it's good health. It's a short version of a newsletter. It's just a letter. Are dogs sleeping in the funniest positions?
Okay. What else on the news? I'm scrolling down through it. By the way, who's the elderly woman? Who's Miss Beatrice?
Now, by the way, that picture is my aunt.
Oh no!
I'll tell you something funny that I will not say to anybody else on the radio, but I feel close to all of you listening. If you've gone to first of all, that is a photo of my Aunt Jackie. And that's the thing about the organ and what will keep the flu at bay. You'll never get the flu. But if any of you have gone to the movies lately, have you?
I have.
Now, have you seen the trailer for the Mall Cop 2 with Kevin James?
I haven't seen the trailer. I went and saw American Sniper. I have to plead guilty.
Okay, well, usually in the trailers, they're showing a movie coming out on April 17th called Mall Cop 2. Kevin James is a policeman and a cop. And at the end of that trailer, he accidentally punches a lady in the stomach. She's a maid dressed in an orange dress at a Las Vegas hotel. The maid falls to the floor. I know people listening have seen this because it gets the biggest laugh in the trailer. And she looks up at Kevin James and she says, "Sir, do you still want turn down service?" After he's accidentally punched her to the floor. Well, that's my aunt. She's extra in movies, but she's never had her bit on a movie trailer. So you were just saying, who's this lady? I took a picture of my aunt for that photo in the newsletter.
She's famous. I'll be looking for that trailer.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, everywhere she goes now, people say, I saw you in the trailer. Because she's on TV shows and other movies as extras, but she's never been in a movie trailer.
Well, we're all going to be looking forward to see that trailer or that movie where we can see the whole doggone scene. And wouldn't you know, there's stardom in your family. We thought you were the only star, but turns out you got plenty of them.
Yeah, it's funny.
All right. Anything else about the newsletter?
Today's topic, because I know it's cold there, and I'm gonna make this a very spicy hot topic and get everyone warmed up. But I know just around the corner it's going to be warmer. But this topic, you know, when I travel around the world, so many people tell me or ask me, what can I do to look younger quickly, to have more energy, to lose some weight. And so this topic about detoxifying your body, I think, is of interest to most people, because unless you grow all your food in your backyard, and I know you guys don't there, and you're never under stress, and you work out every day, and you eat the optimum diet, you've got toxins in your body that need to be removed, and our level of toxic exposure far outstrips our body's natural elimination mechanisms. And some studies, these are all scientific studies, indicate that most of us have between 400 and 800 chemical residues stored in the fat cells of our bodies. So to stay healthy and strong in our chemical-ridden world, I think it's essential to occasionally do a detox. Now, lots of people think of detoxing on the first week of January after the holidays, but as you said in the intro, I learned from my grandmother how to be as healthy as possible. And for anybody who's new with us today and have never heard me before, I really know what I'm talking about. I have not had a cold or a flu in over 30 years. I've never taken medication. And my whole thing is teaching people how to live a little closer to nature, the foods, the herbs, the spices, and all the lifestyle choices that will help you stay healthy so you don't get sick and you keep your body temple as healthy as possible. And Dennis, I want to make this as practical as possible. So I'll give a few telephone numbers of things that might interest you. So I just want to let you all know now, you might want to get out a pen and paper, because I know some people, you've told me, in your listening audience don't even use the computer. So I can't direct everybody where to go on my website to find out more information.
Okay.
But my grandmother taught me that 1 day a week and 2 to 3 days, it's usually 3 days, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and 7 to 10 days with each change of season. I often go 14. It's good to do a simple detox. It's not so complicated, and I'll give you in a moment the signs to know that you are toxic, symptoms of toxic buildup, what you can expect when it's over, and basically how to do it.
Alrighty. Why don't we, first of all, you did a show once where you went into an elaborate description. Well, it was very elaborate, but yet it was very simplistic of the mechanisms involved with detox. Do you remember that show?
I do, yeah.
Okay. And I thought it was one of the finest descriptions that I can ever remember hearing. Could you do a quick, a resume of the essence of that? Because if you're going to talk about detox, that little bit of science that you put together for us really told the story well. Can you remember it, and can you do that for us?
Well, there's so many things I talk about with detox. I'll say to you that I think there's an epidemic that's sweeping America, and I call it internal toxic pollution. And, it's not that one day we're healthy and the next day we're sick. The process of health or sickness develops over a period of time, and often years, and it's based at the cellular level. And our bodies are made of over, who knows the exact number, but I usually hear and say 70 trillion cells. Now that's more than the national debt,
Mm-hmm.
So the cells of the same ilk, the same cells joined together, they form organs and tissues and bones and blood. We know that. And each cell is constantly in the process of dying and being replaced. That's life. That's what our bodies do. And each cell receives nutrition and then also expels waste and toxins. And all of these toxins must be eliminated from the body in a timely manner. And when the cells are deficient in nutrients, which often happens with the diets we eat, or they're overpowered with toxins and waste, then cellular malfunction begins, and thus we have the slow decline in the level of health until one day a disease state is recognized by the manifestation of symptoms. Now, if you think you live in a pretty toxic-free environment, I'd say think again, because there are thousands of toxic chemicals all around us. This is sad to hear, but remember, we always have control over our body. There are pesticides in our foods, and unless you eat a perfect, organically grown diet, and I don't, there are chemicals in the water, there are pollutants in the air we breathe, even the cosmetics, ladies, and maybe some guys here in LA, they're full of chemicals. So we always eat, we drink, breathe, and live in this soup of daily toxic chemicals. But you know how positive I am. And I like to say that one of the greatest health secrets is that you have control over the pollution in your body. And if you keep a balanced and clean internal environment, you're not going to succumb to the toxic buildup that's so prevalent in most people's bodies. And studies show that those who cleanse on a regular basis, for example, at the very least, once every change of season. But I say 1 day a week, you eat a more detoxifying diet, and I'll give you some supplements, like detox supplements that you don't even have to think about it, ones that I take. I've never told you about, by the way. But if you take that and watch your diet those days, you can do a little, you can be proactive, do a preventive program, and you can keep your body cleansed, because studies show that those who cleanse regularly look and feel younger, are much healthier, and live a longer life than those who ignore the need to cleanse internally.
All right. Why don't we move into...
And you know what? Let me add to that.
Oh, you do.
If you...
You do want to add to it.
Let me just add. Because disease is really often a result of an unhealthy lifestyle. I think our modern diets are to blame for most of our common ailments. And you know, I've said this to you ages ago, that people are digging their graves with their knives and forks, and are often making life and death decisions every time they sit down for a meal. And when you ignore the need to detoxify your body, this will cause the body to become sluggish and congested and acidic. You and I have done whole shows on metabolic acidosis, and your body becomes polluted. And then if you add to that antibiotics that you take, excess sugar, carbonated beverages, chemical food additives, and even over-the-counter drugs, you see, all of this alters the acid-alkaline balance of your intestinal tract. And that often will kill off those beneficial bacteria, and then creates the perfect environment for harmful microbes to grow. And without the good or friendly bacteria, and lots of people don't take good probiotics every day. You and I did a whole show on fermented vegetables, and I'll tell you in a moment where to find these articles on the website.
Okay.
But without the good or friendly bacteria to keep the bad ones in check, then the bad bacteria overrun the body and severely depress our immune system. And then this causes this mucoid plaque throughout the digestive system. And I hope no one's having breakfast. But it's like this slimy gel-like substance that covers the inner lining of the intestines and bowel. And this plaque harbors toxins and interferes with nutrient absorption. And don't worry, in a moment I'll tell you how to clean all this up. And the colon is known to hold up to more than 30 or more pounds of old matter, and with undigested foods and disease-promoting bacteria. And even some people have parasites and little worms in their colon. These parasites can range from microscopic up to tapeworms that can be 15 inches long. Now, in a moment, I'll give you some signs that maybe you've got toxic buildup. But, you know, I've told you in the past that Elvis had 70 pounds of old impaction in his colon when he died. John Wayne had 40 pounds, according to the autopsies.
Yeah, I've heard those numbers thrown around before.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready to review? You say that you've got 13 points that one should consider in order to be able to do detoxing. Are you ready to jump on it and get it moving?
I am.
All right, why don't you take it?
I am. You know, and there might be, I might digress a few times, so watch out.
All right.
Yeah, so, you know, the first one I always say is organization. You know, the first day of a detox, you will set the tone for the entire program. Let's say you do a 7-day or a 10-day. Just as the first 40 minutes of each day sets the tone for the day. So I always say, get everything ready, including the shopping. You know, in a moment I'll rattle off, you know, and we'll continue this next month, since April is an ideal time. But right now, just so you know, I'm on a detox. I'm on a 14-day. I started on the 1st of the month. Maybe that's why I have so much energy. And today is day 4. but you want to do your shopping for the best foods, the detox teas, the supplements you might want to take. You want to have a dry skin brush. All of these things are outlined in my March, April newsletter. But you want to have everything ready so you don't embrace day one and then you have to go out and get everything ready. And by the way, maybe I should mention now, and people will pay more attention, some of the toxic symptoms of toxic buildup. Now, can you tell me any?
Oh, it's got to be fatigue.
That's right.
Irritability.
That's right.
Keep going.
All right.
Yeah.
Constipation.
Sure.
And you know how I always say that you never want to be constipated because everything backs up and then it's recirculated throughout your body. And you know I've told you before, you've got to have at least one good bowel movement daily. And if you're lucky, 1 or 2 more bonus rounds during the day. That will really help prevent toxic buildup. If you have chronic yeast infections, brittle fingernails and toenails, frequent colds, weight gain, acne, pale, dry skin, depression, mood swings, low sex drive, poor short-term memory, you can sort of tell then the benefits of detoxifying, because then all these will go away. Lack of concentration, sleeping problems, frequent headaches, chronic urinary tract infections, allergies, arthritic bone pains and rheumatism, of course, gas, bloating, flatulence, feeling weak, lacking energy. I know lots of people are going, oh my goodness, I can check off all of those. And those are just a few of the symptoms. And once you complete a good detox program and you do it the right way, and I'm going to direct you in a moment to places on my website to read more about this besides the newsletter, but some of the, and then what to expect during a detox. Now, you might be a little bit more tired than usual. And if that's the case, let's say you're doing a 3-day. Let's say you do this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Try to get a little bit more sleep than usual, because there's nothing more restorative than good sleep. Sleep is when your body really heals itself, resets itself for the day to come. You might break out in a little bit of a rash, because remember, the skin is your biggest eliminative organ, and many toxins come out through the skin. So that doesn't happen with me anymore because I do my programs so frequently, but many people who've never done a detox and they want to do a 14-day, they might want to quit on day 3 or 4 because all of a sudden they see little spots and maybe they're getting a little acne, but that's a good sign. Maybe they get a headache. That's a sign that your body's doing the house cleaning it needs to do. Most people release lots of mucus during the cleanse, like the throat, or down at the other end looking up at you in the bathroom. And that's a good sign because you want to get rid of lots of that excess mucoid plaque, that mucus. You might find mood swings or depression, and some of you are thinking, why the heck do I want to do a detox? But sometimes we need to go through a little bit of a rough patch, and not that everybody feels this. Some people feel fine, but if you've never detoxed before, you might feel some of these symptoms. But then you come out of it on the other side feeling 10 years younger and looking younger and having energy, and it's worth it. But I promise you this, at the end of a detox program, most people, 99.9%, feel, unless they need to continue on a little longer, feel lighter and more peaceful. You'll feel in more control over your body. You know, it's a great way to break food habits that you might have, like always salting food and being addicted to dairy products and white sugar, white flour products and sodas, because when you don't have them for a few days, then you don't crave them afterwards. You'll have an increase in self-esteem and confidence. And, you know, it's amazing what happens when you detox on a regular basis. Now, and we'll go through these 13 things. I'll breeze through them. But remember, we have 4 channels of elimination in the body. And they include, we just talked about it, the bowel, the lungs, the kidneys, and the skin.
The skin.
And the skin, your beautiful skin, weighs in at approximately 6 pounds if we took all the skin off your body. And it covers an area of about 2 square yards. But and most people don't realize, because it's not inside the body, that your skin's an organ. And it's the largest organ of the body. And it's a major area for elimination of toxic waste from our system. It's often been called the third kidney because it works closely with the kidneys to help release uric acid. And that's why you want to do dry skin brushing. And that's one of the things you want to get. It's all in my current newsletter. You want to get a dry skin brush to do every day. Well, I do it every day anyway, but especially when you're detoxifying. And then, so anyway, I should let you talk.
No, hey, let's get on the list. I love when you write a list out and we can just go point for point. Yeah. So why don't we get that started?
Now some other points to consider. I'd say that that one of the most asked questions I get regarding this topic of detox goes something like this. What detox supplements do I take and recommend to support whole body cleansing, and how often do I take them? Now, I like my life to be simple, and I don't want to get all these different bottles of supplements when I do a detox, that have herbs in them to help clean out the colon, that have the right amount of fiber, that have everything I need. And for years, and you've never seen this before, because I've never talked about this on your show, because we've never really done detox in detail. But if you go to my website and look in the navigation bar and go over the favorite products, and you click on the top one, it's Michael's naturopathic programs. So I'm clicking there with you. These detox products, they're kits. And I like it because it's all the work's done for you. There's a 14-day. That's the one I'm on right now. And he gives you, by the way, these are stellar products. They're pretty much the best-selling products for detox in health food stores, including Whole Foods. And in my Santa Monica co-op, they can't even keep these on the shelf. But I go right to the company because I get a discount of 25%. And get out a pen and paper. I'll tell you how to get the same discount I get.
Perfect.
They said I could talk about this. But he has these little packets that have 4 tablets in them. And every morning I pull out 3 packets of 4 tablets. And when I detox, you just take one in the morning, one midday, one late in the day, and it's got everything you need to help you detox. And you might pretty much eat a diet like you eat daily, although clean it up some, and then add these detox tablets in. And in 14 days, they've even tested these tablets out. You'll have better elimination, better digestion, flatter abdominals, increased vitality. You'll sleep better. You'll have more energy. You'll lose weight, which I like. You'll have reduced cellulite. Your skin will glow more. And again, you can go to the store to get them. And if you don't, let me say this, if you don't have a computer, there's a 14-day program with these tablets. And then there's a 7-day that's just as good. They're called the Ultimate Detox and Cleanse. And it's just a little bit different. So, and I do both. And even when I'm not on a real detox, every month I do the 7-day. I've never told you this, but the first 7 days of every month, I do Michael's these are famous kits. I do the 7-day program just as a way to keep me so I never get sick. Mm-hmm. Everyone I know, I'd say 90% of the people I know in Brentwood now where I work and where I've been traveling, people have the flu and colds everywhere. And I never get them. And one of the reasons is I keep my body detoxified. So Michael's Health, it's called Michael's Naturopathic Programs. They're in San Antonio, Texas. So here's the 800 number. And so remember, is that Central Time?
Yeah, that's right. That is Central.
Okay. So 5, 6. So they're not open yet. But the toll-free number is 800-845-2730. 800-845-2730. And with the code VITALITY, so I'll give you different codes today, VITALITY15, you can get 25% off, which is great. And if I were you, I'd get both the 7-day and the 14-day. And maybe, in a week or so, you'll get the products, and then you can start on this detox program. These are, and they've done all of the work for you with exactly what you need. And if you go to this page and scroll down, you can learn more about these products. If you go to favorite products and click on the first entry. And then, I always take this, but I take extra. This is another product. It's a superfood. It's the Hawaiian spirulina. But I take extra when I detox, and here's why. First of all, it's got close to 100 nutrients in it. I take it in powder or tablet form. But one of the components of spirulina, and it's only found in blue-green algae on the whole planet Earth. It's only found in blue-green algae like spirulina, and it's a beautiful word called phycocyanin. It's phycocyan is a blue color, right? Mm-hmm. And that gives the blue tint to spirulina. But on my website, if you go to articles and scroll all the way down, maybe about 15, you'll see phycocyanin, Nature's Magic Medicine. And I give you all these scientific studies that show how phycocyanin completely detoxifies your liver and your kidneys and your gallbladder, and it's one of the best detoxifying extras. So it's in the spirulina. And you can get it at any health food store you want, because they sell it everywhere. But I always call the company, and I'll give you their Hawaiian number, and I think they're 6 hours earlier than you are, so nobody's there. But it's 800-453-1187. And if you use the code, I say companies always give me codes, and they give me different codes. Their code is Revitalize to get 25% off. But I'll tell you a little secret, that if you call, you can go to nutrex-hawaii.com and you can put in the code. But if you call in your order to 800-453-1187, just for the asking, you can get, and it's not my book, it's someone else's. It's a chef. And her name is Julie Morris, and the book is called Superfood Spirulina, and it's full color, and I use it every day. It's got all of the recipes in the book. Use the Hawaiian spirulina powder. So if you want ideas about how to use the powder, again, you can go to articles on my website, scroll down to about 10 down or so, scrumptious recipes using spirulina powder. As a culinary instructor, I put recipes together, you can still get that book, but if you want to have recipes today, you can look at that on my website. So that's something else I would always take when I'm doing my detox.
Well, I notice you have a recipe for something you call spirulina bliss balls, okay? And you have that included in your newsletter.
My current newsletter.
Yeah.
Oh, they're absolutely delicious.
Oh, really?
That's funny, spirulina bliss balls. But kids love them, and it's a way to get kids and even adults to. I like how spirulina tastes, but these are wonderful little balls, and I I usually triple or quadruple the recipe. And you could, I didn't say it there, I don't think, but you can even make extra and freeze them. They're so delicious. They're in my March, April newsletter, that recipe.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah. Now, you and I have talked about this before, and I'll tell you, with where you live now in the cold, there's no better time to get this. And listen, this is pricey, I know, but I would not be without an infrared sauna, because, let me just say this in the most succinct way possible. It's so important to help the body increase its removal of harmful and potentially deadly waste products, the toxic residue. And the way to do that, the solution is through regular and effective whole body detoxification. And when you sit in an infrared sauna, totally different than a regular sauna. By the way, if you go to blog on my website, I posted it today. It's the very first blog. It tells you all about infrared saunas and why I'd never be without them. But when you take a sauna, it completely detoxifies your body from the inside out. You sweat, but it's not that suffocating heat like in a regular dry sauna, so you can stay in longer. Doctors around the world love the one that I use called the Thermal Life, because it's made with non-toxic wood, and it's not made with toxic glue, because you don't want to go into an unhealthy sauna to try to detoxify. And you can even wear jewelry in it. You know, an infrared sauna is different. It comes in sizes for one person up to 6. And, you know, they say, you know, because you'll see the studies on my website, but sweating is not only an important part of our physical well-being, but when we have all these toxins in the water, the air, you know, heavy metals, poor diet, non-existent exercise habits, the therapeutic internal cleansing of regular sweating is critical to maintain a healthy body and a healthy life. And I like the idea that one session in the sauna is the equivalent of a 2 to 3 mile jog. It also benefits your cardiovascular system. It makes your skin glow. It helps with weight loss. It helps with cellulite. And I honestly go in and I lie down for the first half, and then I sit up for the second half. And I've told you this before. I take in my motivational tapes, not mine, but other people's. Or I listen to vocabulary tapes, or I listen to beautiful music, and it will be the highlight of your day. And if you do this 90 minutes to 2 hours before bedtime, because remember, by internally heating up your body, then when you get out and your core starts to cool down before bedtime, it increases the melatonin in your body, which will make you sleep like a baby. If there are 3 things I would never be, let me say 4, let me say 5 in my life that make me as healthy as I am, and I see it with all my patients in my private practice. One is this Thermal Life sauna, and by the way, I'll give you their 800 number. They're in Boulder, Colorado, and if you say you heard us on your radio show, they'll give you $500 off. So that's...
Don't forget to mention
I don't know how long that will last, but at least it's for now. And their toll-free number is 800-794-5355. 800-794-5355. That's the famous company called High Tech Health. They make 2 things. They make infrared saunas and the alkaline water machine. Now, that is something else. You want to drink 8 glasses of water a day, and you want it to be really good, purified, delicious, with the right pH water. And I would not buy plastic bottles at the store. So this high-tech, and they'll give you $300 off of an Ionizer Plus. Now, that's my second blog on my website, so you can read more about it. But also, so you want to drink a lot of water. The heat therapy is good. You want to be very positive. And again, I'll go into much more detail next month. But remember that when you do a cleanse, it's important just to stay positive. Each day, take a moment to be grateful for all you have. Because I think gratitude is one of the best stress busters and a whole body purifier. And I always remember that what you think about consistently brings more of the same into your life. Now there's something else. Now, and I know everybody listening will know what this is, but it's a Vitamix, and I'm totally into green smoothies. And in my current newsletter, the March-April newsletter, I've got a recipe for a really good detox smoothie. And it's hard to make good smoothies if your blender's not good and it doesn't really liquefy all of the fiber in the greens that you put in the smoothie. And I'll tell you this, I know Vitamix well. In the 70s, the founder of Vitamix came to my home in Brentwood, brought me the first Vitamix, stayed for 3 hours, showed me how to use it. In the 90s, I was their spokesperson. I'm no longer their spokesperson, but I'm telling you, I've tried every blender out there, and it's worth it to get a good, it's so much more than a blender, but you definitely want a good one to make smoothies. And Vitamix, remember, I get no commission. I don't own stock in any of these companies, but I'd rather people not write me, and then I have to write so many people back and give them the info. I'm giving it all to you now. But if you call them, and they're different sizes, they're different prices, and I'll tell you, the reconditioned ones that might have been used as a one-time demo, or the box was torn, they make sure they're all just like brand new. You have the same warranty, and you get them for far less. Because they're pricey, but it's worth every penny because you'll use it every day. And with Vitamix, they said to me yesterday, because I said I'd be with you today, if you use the code Vitality, you'll get free shipping. And because they're expensive.
Yeah, they're heavy too.
They're in a big box. Their 800 number is 800, and they're in Cleveland, Ohio, by the way. 800-848-2649. 800-848-2649. And with the code Vitality, you will get free shipping.
All right. You just zipped through, I think it's 6 different products that you're endorsing this morning. Well, all with a code, all with a discount, and all with phone numbers.
You love discounts.
Yeah.
I do.
And then you gave phone numbers for everyone.
I don't like to waste money, and if I can get a discount, yes, thank you. I'll definitely do that. And next time I'll go over more specific foods like lemons, leafy greens, watercress, garlic, green tea, of course, Hawaiian spirulina, broccoli sprouts, sesame seeds, cabbage, psyllium, and fruit, and why all of these are great for when you're detoxifying. And also find a friend to cleanse with. Do the buddy system, because when you have someone to share the experience with, it's a little more comforting. And even if it's someone across the country, you can compare notes each day. It's nice to know that someone's cleansing with you. Of course, it's great if they're in the home with you. But if not, it can be someone, your best friend, who might, like my best friend lives in Florida. And so she's doing the 14-day detox with me. She just got a sauna. She just got the Ionizer Plus. She bought them for herself for Christmas. She just got the Michael's detox kit for 14 days. She's had spirulina for ages. And we're doing this detox together. So each day we either talk or we email and we say how we're doing. And it's very motivating.
Well, okay, we're coming down to the end. How do you want to pull this together? It looks like we have a overlap between this show and the one we're going to do next month. So with that in mind, how do you want to finish off our talk today?
that you want to keep in mind that the secret to vibrant health and always having youthful vitality well into your 70s, 80s, and 90s, it's really in cleansing the body and mind and then adopting a lifestyle that includes positive, grateful thoughts, natural foods, good water, fresh air, sunshine, exercise. Because when the body's burdened with toxic waste material, it will be tired, you'll have low immune function. But when the body's clean, it can absorb efficiently more of the essential nutrients from the food you eat to heal, repair, and maintain good health. So the next time you hear that expression, let's see if you know this. Cleanliness is next to
godliness.
Godliness. You know, you understand that it conveys an extremely important aspect of health and rejuvenation, that the more cleansed you keep your miraculous body, the more room you will have to be filled with light. And by the way, scroll down on my homepage to the lower half. You'll see how to get autographed copies of my books. My book, Health Bliss, all of the recipes are green smoothies. My book, Walking on Air, has my 30-day inside and out rejuvenation detox program. And there's a way to get them all autographed. And they come from Philly, so they'll get to you really quickly. So anyway, that's at SusanSmithJones.com. And make sure to go over to favorite products, check out Michael's naturopathic program. That's where you'll learn about those 2 ultimate detox and cleanse kits.
All right. You have hit the right moment. Bill is banging on the keys in the background.
I heard that.
He's playing chopsticks. Look, I want you to have a wonderful month.
I'll see you on April Fool's Day.
See you on April Fool's Day. We'll continue this topic on detox. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say so long for myself and Dr. Susan Smith-Jones. See you on Friday. Bye now.